Well, hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're all well. By now you've seen a few videos on this saw. Just gonna call it one big hot mess. It's multicolored, kind of looks like a smaller version of old Dolly. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know what saw Dolly is, but sadly I've taken that saw apart and wrapped it in Johnson's plastic, which it was originally a set of 2171 cases anyway. But anyway, if you don't know what it is, it was a big something like this, a big giant paw build we done and wrapped it with Farmer Tech plastic. And for some reason every piece of plastic on that saw was a different color. The cases were red. My wife said you should call that saw Dolly because it's like the saw of many colors, which is kind of what this saw here is kind of starting to look like. She is multicolored. Everything I've gotten here has been a different shade of orange, I think. As well as the... I hate to even put that on. It's probably worth more than most of anything on the whole damn saw. This is Sawzilla's Pro line. It's a knockoff of EL42's ammo. That's what we're going with on this build. I was out of muffler deflectors, ordered some. eBay, like 20 bucks. You get 4, cut them out yourself. They send screen with it. We never use the screen. What else did I get? There's something else laying here under all of this I know that we needed to get it together. The last video I think I'd done some ranting or kind of just explaining how much money goes into doing one of these. I think that video comes out this afternoon maybe, but you'll see this one probably Monday. I've kind of got them behind on videos, need to get some more out there, but this is the flange. It is different. It's larger than, say, a 350. Nobody makes this aftermarket. There was 2 on eBay I could find, both OE, you know, because nobody makes an aftermarket, but that one cost me like 26, 27 bucks. It took about 2 weeks to get here. It come from somewhere across the pond. Not 100% sure on that, and the only one I could find here stateside I think was like 55 bucks, and I was like, there's no way. I would have just tried to make the 372 carb setup work before I done that, but I'm pretty sure I do have a spring to go from the handlebar to the cylinder. It was some over there in my big filing cabinet of parts, so I think I've already got that laying over here somewhere. Should be good to go with that. I've got the clutch. I think I'd shown all of that in the last video, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. Probably not, because it's not been open to try to take advantage of some of the numbers this thing has already and just see what we can come up with. If we don't like it, we don't like it. That cylinder was like, when I went back and looked, was less than 30 bucks. So with that said, I'm not wanting to make a super high compression monster out of it either, because I don't want a 10-cent Chinese piston to take out a really nice set of cases and crankshaft either, which have both been, you know, it's all freshly built. This is like a new build when it's done. Most of the parts on the saw are new, whether it be a little bit of aftermarket and a lot of OEM stuff. So with that said, I'm going to strip some parts off of this thing and get it down to where I can figure out what I'm going to do to dial the squish in, and I'll bring you guys back. Alrighty guys, let's just try to keep all of this quick and simple. I decided to pull the material out of the squish band. It didn't take a lot. I'll give you guys a look. It turned out really, really nice. It is starting to develop a little bit of a death ring with what material I pulled, which was minuscule. You could probably take, you know, safely another 20, maybe 30 thou out of that if you needed to, but right now Squish is at 18 thou. Once we get it glued, it'll be in that neighborhood where I like it to be. 18's fine on something like this, by the way. Alrighty guys, I've been sitting working these transfers longer than I care to mention. Definitely is a good hard nick of seal plating. It's not chipping or anything, but over the years you learn to work with hard and softer materials. Started off with kind of a coarse bit and then went to a diamond abrasive, but got them all four open and about damn dead near even. Tried to make them look as good as I could, but dealing with this cheap material, and when you're having to move things a mile, and we've moved them probably a good 70 to 80 thousandths, right where that ring's at, right where they're cracking. We're going to call open time on it like 124. Next thing we're going to do is set our exhaust port height and get that port shaped the way we wanted. It looks pretty rough, to be brutally honest. Damn, if I get the ring out of it without breaking it, don't want to do that. I don't have another. I don't know, probably never seeing that thing. Yeah, you can see it, but man, that's rough. Once I get the casting flash out of it, doing that alone and knocking down the nickel seal overhang, it's going to move that roof quite a bit, but I'm still going to put the ring back in, make a mark. Alright guys, just as promised, I've got the roof roughed in where I want it. It's actually not bad. I wouldn't call it rough by any means, but I put a ring in, made my line, and there's what we come up with. Number, it's set right now. I set the ring at 101, made a mark, and that's where we fell at, and had to move it again a mile to get there. You'd think I was porting an Echo or something, but I think that looks a lot more presentable than where we started. That thing was rough. I can live with that. Here's where we're at inside. Not too shabby. Look at the uppers. Tried to make them look the same all around. Sometimes it's about impossible. Intake port, didn't go too crazy there. I did widen it, but not a lot. Tried to stay away from the very floor itself, the entrance, like the plague. I think she'll be a runner, guys. Okay, didn't do a lot. I was able to remove some material here and there. Got the piston dulled up, I guess. Can't shave with it anymore, but still got a good snug fit on that pin. I did lighten it some, remove material from the inside. Not a lot, very little. And polished it up. It's still snug fit, but you know, it spins really easy. Every little bit helps in a situation like this. Some guys will say it don't. Polishing's a waste of time. This is a waste of time. That's a waste of time. All of those little 1% add up, guys. I'll just leave it at that. Alright, guys, we'll probably wrap this one up. Final numbers: 100 1/2, 124, and 82 on the intake. I don't know. It'd be cool to see how this one compares to the other one that we'd done more like a work saw, woods poured on. Squish on them's about identical, about the same deal. I removed material out of the band for the clearance. That saw has a nice thump to it. It's really snappy. Next thing I need to do, I guess, is get the carb rebuild on it and get it back in some wood. But what little I ran it was strong. It ran really well. But with that said, I'm probably just going to try to button this on up here tonight, just get it back together and back on the shelf, and call it an afternoon. Hopefully the next video you guys see is maybe the finished product and maybe this thing up and running. But with that said, y'all have a good one.